Chosen one, this moment is not random. It's a divine appointment. You were led here by the Spirit of God because something sacred is stirring in the unseen. Heaven has marked this exact second to speak directly into your life. You stand at the threshold of a supernatural transfer, a divine release of wealth, wisdom, and favor that has been held in waiting until now. The delay was never denial. It was alignment, anointed one. Heaven says the appointed time has come. You are standing in the very hour where hidden promises begin to take form. What's about to unfold will not come by striving, but by revelation. The doors that once resisted you are about to recognize your authority. The oil that was stored for generations is being poured out over your name. Do not scroll away, chosen one. You are being summoned into remembrance. Every loss, every struggle, every silent prayer has been building to this divine moment. The transfer is not coming, it's here. And you are the vessel heaven has chosen to carry it. Prepare your spirit. Lift your hands. What's about to be released will shift not just your finances, but your future, chosen one. Look at your hands, not with doubt, but with awareness. These same hands that have carried burdens, built dreams, and wiped tears hold a secret heaven placed there long before time began. The world calls them lines, but heaven calls them prophecy. That M you see or even sense is not a coincidence. It is a mark of miracle, manifestation, and mastery. It's not flesh, it's frequency. Heaven engraved it as a signal that you were never ordinary, anointed one. You carry heaven's code. It's why life never let you blend in. It's why storms found you early and lessons came hard. You are marked for more, and that mark is not symbolic, it's strategic. God never marks what he doesn't intend to move. This M is your divine passport, your proof that destiny recognizes you even when people don't. You've asked, why does it feel like I'm waiting while others are rising? But heaven was never late, it was aligning. Silence wasn't rejection, it was refinement. Every delay was a calibration, a sacred pause before acceleration. You were being trained in rooms where no one clapped, tested in seasons where no one saw, molded in moments where no one understood. But God did. He hid you until the soil of your spirit was ready to sustain the blessing you prayed for. I know that silence. I've stood in those same invisible seasons, wondering if my prayers were lost somewhere between heaven and earth. But every time I tried to force what wasn't ready, it crumbled. When I finally surrendered, heaven whispered, "You were never waiting on me, I was waiting on you." That's what's happening now. You've matured into the version of yourself that can hold what God is releasing. Chosen one, the warfare around you wasn't random, it was recognition. The enemy saw your mark before you did. That's why pressure intensified, relationships shifted, and doors closed. You were being rerouted toward the path only heaven could design. Every no protected the yes you were created for, and now the atmosphere is shifting in your favor. Heaven is saying, use what's in your hands. The very things you've overlooked, your voice, your creativity, your compassion, your endurance, are the instruments of breakthrough. Don't underestimate what seems ordinary. God hides miracles in plain sight. Remember, Moses held only a staff. David carried just a stone. Yet both were tools of transformation. The same is true for you, anointed one. Your M is not decoration, it's direction. It points you back to purpose, reminding you that destiny flows through obedience. When God said, "You are engraved on the palms of my hands," he mirrored that truth in you. Your hands are not just physical, they're prophetic. They've built, they've battled, they've blessed, and now heaven says they're ready to receive. This is your moment of activation. Stop second-guessing your calling. Stop asking if you're ready. You wouldn't be hearing this if you weren't. The M is proof you are already qualified. Everything you've lost prepared you. Everything you've endured equipped you. Now heaven moves. Chosen one, open your palms. Feel the weight of that divine imprint. It's your reminder that the miracle you've been praying for isn't coming from outside. It's being released from within. You are the miracle. You are the answer. You are the manifestation. Use what's in your hands. Speak it, declare it, move in it. Heaven has already given you permission. Chosen one, listen closely. Heaven is saying it's already in motion. What you've been sensing lately, that quiet stirring in your chest, that unshakable pull toward change, is not coincidence. It's confirmation. The energy around you is shifting because divine alignment has begun. You've stepped into the season where what was spiritual becomes visible, where what was promised begins to form. Anointed one, that M on your hand is not just a mark, it's a mission. It means you carry a heavenly frequency that calls miracles into motion. That's why you can walk into a room and feel its atmosphere change. It's why people are drawn to your peace, your words, your presence. You don't just speak, you activate. When you move, things rearrange. This is not energy. This is anointing. Heaven's blueprint coded it into your DNA before you ever took your first breath. You've endured long nights and empty seasons because your foundation had to be fortified before heaven could expand your reach. Every disappointment was construction. Every delay was design. You weren't being punished. You were being positioned. You couldn't see it then, but heaven was writing the chapters that your destiny required. I remember walking through my own hidden years. Nothing made sense. Doors that once opened began to slam shut. The people I trusted most drifted away, but now I understand it was divine pruning. The smaller my circle became, the clearer I heard God's voice. Sometimes isolation isn't abandonment, it's acceleration. Heaven pulls you aside when your anointing is about to multiply. Chosen one. The mark you carry is not ornamental, it's operational. It's heaven's signature that says, "This one belongs to me." That M signifies miracle because your presence brings healing and hope to others. It stands for manifestation because what you speak in faith, heaven brings to life. And it means mastery because you've learned to overcome storms without losing your spirit. You've been called to build, to teach, to heal, to lead. The fire you've walked through wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to purify your purpose. That's why you felt pressure lately. Gold only glows after refinement. God was never trying to break you. He was stretching you to fit the capacity of the blessing that's arriving. Anointed one, you are entering the hour of supernatural transfer. What was withheld is being released. Finances, favor, opportunities, all of it aligning under heaven's decree. The same power that opened the Red Sea and fed thousands is moving for you now. But this time you won't chase it. It will locate you. Heaven knows your coordinates. The promise knows your name. This is why the warfare increased, because your inheritance is near. But do not fear. You are not uncovered. The M on your hand is your covenant reminder. Heaven fights for you. Even when you feel weary, angels are working on your behalf. The spiritual winds are turning. You are stepping into the rhythm of divine acceleration. Chosen one, pause and breathe. This is your activation moment. Every closed door will soon make sense. Every delay will prove divine. The same hands that carried sorrow will now carry substance. What was once empty will overflow. The miracle is not distant. It's already responding to your faith. Open your hands. The mark was never random. It was always the map, chosen one. Something sacred happens when you finally realize that what you carry was never meant to remain dormant. The moment you accept that heaven has trusted you with divine blueprints, everything begins to accelerate. Doors that resisted you start to open on their own. Conversations align. Connections appear. Why? Because your recognition unlocks heaven's release. You've stepped into a frequency where faith and manifestation meet. Anointed one, you have been through seasons of refining that others could not have survived. The fire you walked through didn't burn you, it branded you. That's why your spirit feels heavier now, more aware, more sensitive. You are operating at a higher spiritual voltage. You can't go back to how things used to be because your DNA has been rewritten by destiny. You're not the same person who started this journey. You are the evolved version, forged by endurance, purified by purpose. Every trial has taught you discernment. Every heartbreak gave you clarity. You no longer chase temporary validation because heaven already stamped your identity in permanence. That M on your hand is a signature of ownership. It's heaven saying, "This one carries my image." That means your words carry weight, your presence carries peace, and your obedience carries power. I remember my own moment of awakening, when I finally realized that every disappointment was a disguise for direction. I had been asking God to remove the storms, but He kept teaching me how to walk through them instead. That's when I learned that divine favor is not comfort, it's capacity. The anointing increases not when life gets easier, but when you become unshakable. Chosen one, heaven is calling you to rise in awareness. You are not waiting for permission. You are walking in prophecy. Your hands are not just tools, they are transmitters. When you pray, when you write, when you build, when you comfort, something shifts in the unseen. You don't need to force outcomes anymore. You magnetize them by alignment. The M was never meant to make you different. It was meant to make you decisive. You're entering the season where what you touch multiplies. Businesses, ideas, relationships, opportunities, all will begin to respond to your presence. Not because of luck, but because of divine law. Heaven honors what it marks. The M on your hand is God's reminder that His favor is tangible, traceable, transferable, anointed one. Your waiting wasn't wasted, it was weaving. Heaven has been stitching miracles into the fabric of your days, preparing to unveil them in perfect sequence. The people who once overlooked you will witness your elevation, not for pride but for purpose. Because when you rise, others will remember their own mark. You are a mirror of awakening. Listen closely. You are standing under an open heaven. Angels have gone ahead to prepare what's next. Finances are being redirected. Delays are dissolving. What once took years will now take moments. You are walking into divine acceleration. But remember this, acceleration demands stability. Stay grounded in gratitude, humility, and faith. Chosen one, the power in your hands isn't symbolic, it's functional. You have the ability to shift atmospheres, to bless what others overlook, to resurrect what others call dead. Heaven has given you authority, and it's time to use it. Stretch your hands, speak life, move in faith. You are not just part of the story, you are the continuation of it. Chosen one, the hour you've been waiting for is no longer ahead of you, it's here. Heaven's alignment is complete, and now the spiritual blueprint that has been hidden within you begins to unfold. The mark you carry, the M, has always been your activation key. It is heaven's reminder that you were never meant to live as a bystander to miracles. You are the miracle. You are the vessel through which heaven intends to move. Anointed one, you can feel it, can't you? The air around your life feels charged, your spirit restless yet ready. That's not anxiety, it's acceleration. The realm of the spirit is pushing you forward, urging you to step into authority. The time of hiding has expired. The delay has served its purpose. The tests have proven your faith, and now heaven whispers, move. Every seed you sowed in faith is now coming to harvest. The prayers you thought heaven forgot are resurfacing as blessings. What was withheld wasn't denial. It was divine timing. You weren't ready before, but now your capacity matches your calling. You've been trained to carry weight without breaking. Heaven's abundance will not crush you. It will confirm you. I felt that shift before, the moment when everything invisible suddenly starts to respond. I remember walking into rooms that once felt impossible, watching doors open that no human could unlock. It wasn't because I worked harder. It was because I finally aligned with heaven's rhythm. When you stop chasing what's already ordained, it begins to chase you. That's what's happening for you now, chosen one. You are in the season of supernatural transfer. Heaven is releasing what was stored for years: resources, wisdom, relationships, and opportunities. You'll find yourself in moments where divine favor seems almost unfair, where things fall into place with ease. That's not luck, that's alignment. When obedience meets timing, miracles manifest naturally. You've been faithful in little, and now you are being entrusted with much. But remember, with every new level of elevation comes a greater level of stewardship. Heaven isn't just blessing you for comfort, it's empowering you for contribution. The wealth, influence, and wisdom being released into your hands are meant to build the kingdom, not just your image, anointed one. Stay alert. As this season unfolds, distractions will attempt to dilute your focus. Counterfeits will appear, masquerading as opportunities designed to pull you from divine direction. You'll need discernment now more than ever. Peace will be your compass. If it brings pressure before purpose, it's not from God. This is not the time to shrink back in fear or hesitation. The same power that raised Christ now operates within you. That means nothing can block what God has already released. The moment you decide to walk in full obedience, heaven deploys provision. Every door, every connection, every miracle that belongs to you will respond to your faith. Chosen one, stretch out your hands again. Feel that pulse. That's divine energy. That's purpose awakening. You carry the light that breaks cycles and the authority that unlocks chains. The mark on your palm isn't decoration, it's declaration. It says you belong to heaven's army, chosen to shift nations and restore divine order. You are not stepping into chance, you are stepping into prophecy. What's coming next is confirmation of everything you've been praying for. The waiting season is over. Heaven's window is open. The release has begun. Chosen one, heaven is moving with precision now. Every thread of your story, every delay, disappointment, and detour is weaving into something divine. You were never behind, you were being built. What looked like waiting was actually synchronization. You were being tuned to heaven's frequency so that when the release came, you would recognize it immediately. Anointed one, hear this clearly. The transfer has already begun. The same hands that once wiped your tears are about to hold abundance. The same heart that endured heartbreak is about to overflow with joy. God did not forget your labor, your sowing, your sacrifices. Nothing has gone unnoticed. The M on your hand is heaven's receipt that your season of restoration is here. You've walked through enough wilderness to understand that not every loss is defeat. Some were redirections. Some were divine edits, rewriting your destiny in higher ink. The storms you survived were never meant to drown you. They were meant to baptize you in boldness. That's why you've emerged stronger, wiser, and more anointed. You've learned how to stand still and trust when nothing seemed certain. That kind of faith is rare, and heaven rewards it. I remember my own turning point, the moment I realized that obedience was the real breakthrough. I stopped asking God for signs and started moving like I already carried them. That's when miracles became normal. Doors began to open before I knocked. Provision appeared without panic. Heaven doesn't respond to noise, it responds to alignment. That's what's happening to you now, chosen one. Your alignment is producing acceleration. The things that once took years will now take weeks. Delays are dissolving because divine timing has matured. You're not chasing opportunities anymore. They're finding you. You've become magnetic to miracles because your spirit finally mirrors heaven's rhythm. But understand this, favor is not random, it's strategic. God is entrusting you with influence, and that requires purity of intention. The wealth that's being released isn't just financial, it's spiritual authority, clarity, and wisdom. When you speak, people will listen. Not because of your voice, but because of the vibration of heaven behind your words, anointed one. That's why you felt the warfare intensify. The enemy always amplifies chaos before your confirmation. But take heart. Your victory has already been signed in heaven. You were sealed before you were sent. The fire you've endured has only forged your authority. Every no you faced was making room for God's yes. Every wall that blocked you was a setup for revelation. You've entered the era of divine momentum. Miracles will begin to multiply as you move in obedience. The more you speak life, the faster heaven responds. The more you act in faith, the quicker favor finds you. The supernatural is not distant, it's dwelling in you. The M on your palm is the reminder that you are both conduit and carrier. What flows through you will bless not only your house but generations to come. Chosen one, pause right here. Take a deep breath. Heaven is closer than it's ever been. You can feel it. The peace that passes understanding, the subtle shift in the air, the knowing that this time something irreversible is happening. This isn't hype, it's holy. You are standing in your appointed hour. Step forward, use the mark, activate the promise. Chosen one, as you step further into this revelation, know that heaven is not just giving you blessing, it's giving you blueprints. What's being released now isn't temporary relief, it's generational strategy. The M you carry isn't just a symbol, it's a spiritual instruction manual. It represents miracle, manifestation, and mastery. These three forces are now converging in your life, shaping you into the kind of vessel heaven can trust with more. Anointed one. The breakthrough you've prayed for is not floating somewhere far above you. It's encoded in your obedience. Heaven has always moved through partnership, not passivity. When you act on what God has whispered, creation responds. The atmosphere bends in favor of faith. That's why you can't afford to ignore your prompting any longer. The tug you feel, that persistent idea, that nudge toward something new, it's not imagination, it's instruction. I remember when God asked me to move, even when nothing made sense. The resources weren't ready, the people weren't supportive, and the timing seemed wrong, but I obeyed anyway. And in that obedience, the impossible began to open. What I didn't have, God multiplied. What I didn't know, He taught. And what I thought I lost, He replaced with something eternal. That's how heaven works. It doesn't reward comfort. It rewards courage. Chosen one, heaven is calling you to that same level of bold faith. The reason the pressure has increased is because your calling is expanding. The doors that once led to small blessings, the divine transfer unfolding in your life, is not just about receiving wealth. It's about wielding it with wisdom. You are being entrusted with resources that will impact nations, restore families, and rebuild broken systems. The way you steward this next level will determine how long the windows of heaven stay open. Stay grounded in gratitude and never forget, the mark on your palm is not for show, it's for service. Anointed one, there is power in your hands, literal, spiritual, generational power. When you lift them in prayer, you move the heavens. When you create, build, write, or give, heaven partners with your actions. That's why the enemy fought your confidence, because he knew once you understood your authority, he could no longer deceive you. The time of questioning whether you are chosen is over. The evidence is written in your life. Every trial you've overcome, every storm that tried to drown you but couldn't, was proof of divine selection. You've been prepared for this hour. You are not an accident of faith. You are a design of destiny, so stand tall, chosen one. The oil is flowing, the vision is clearing. The supernatural is no longer a promise, it's a presence. What's been hovering above your life is now descending. The moment you lift your hands and say, "Yes, Lord," the atmosphere shifts because heaven responds to agreement, not anxiety. Chosen one, lift your hands right now. Feel that. That's not just energy, that's activation. The same spirit that spoke light into darkness is breathing through you. Every part of your being is awakening to purpose. What once drained you will now deliver you. The M was never a mystery, it was a map. And now you're walking it. Chosen one, the time for wondering is over. This is the hour of walking in awareness. You no longer have to question what's within you. Heaven has already confirmed it through every miracle that followed your endurance. You've made it through storms that would have broken most, and that is the proof of your divine design. You were built for pressure because pressure reveals the power inside you, anointed one. The M you carry is no coincidence. It's the mark of a mantle. It means you've been chosen to build what others only dream of, to stand where others fall, and to finish what others started. You are the bridge between generations, carrying ancient wisdom and modern fire. That's why your journey has felt so intense. Heaven has been calibrating you for influence, that can't be corrupted by applause or approval. You've learned how to move in silence until heaven says, now. And that moment, chosen one, is now. You are stepping into divine acceleration, where what took years for others will happen suddenly for you. God has trusted you with time redemption. The seasons that felt stolen are being returned with interest. The harvest is heavy because the sowing was sacred. Every prayer you prayed in tears planted something eternal. Every act of obedience became an invisible investment, and now heaven is cashing it in. I've seen this happen in my own life. There was a time when I felt unseen, unheard, and undervalued. I worked, I prayed, I waited, but nothing seemed to move until one day everything shifted in a single week. Not because I changed strategy, but because heaven changed seasons. The same will happen for you. Your obedience has matured into manifestation. You're walking into rooms you didn't apply for, receiving calls you didn't expect, and touching doors that are already unlocked. Chosen one, remember this truth. Divine acceleration doesn't come through striving. It comes through surrender. You don't have to force what's already written. You only need to align. Heaven has already gone before you, clearing the path, removing resistance, preparing divine helpers who recognize your light. That's why you've been feeling both pressure and peace, the two signs that heaven is near. Anointed one, the mark on your hand doesn't just symbolize blessing, it symbolizes responsibility. You are now accountable for the light you carry. The world will look to you for strength, for guidance, for truth. But don't let that weight intimidate you. It's not yours to carry alone. Heaven never sends calling without covering. You are surrounded by angels, protected by purpose, and backed by divine order. So when opportunities arise that seem too big, don't shrink, step. When blessings arrive that feel too grand, don't question, receive. This is your appointed moment, your Kairos hour, where destiny and diligence collide. Every move you make from here will echo in eternity. You are no longer simply chosen, you are commissioned, chosen one. Lift your eyes. The signs are everywhere, numbers, dreams, confirmations. These aren't coincidences, they're coordinates. Heaven is guiding your steps toward your next divine intersection. You are closer than you've ever been. The gates of favor are swinging open, and what walks through will change your story forever. Chosen one, take this moment and breathe. You've crossed the invisible line between preparation and manifestation. Heaven has already signed your release. The tests that once terrified you now testify for you. Every sleepless night, every hidden tear, every silent prayer, they've built an altar in the unseen. And now the fire of fulfillment is descending upon it. You've stepped into a realm where miracles are not rare, they're routine. Anointed one, the mark on your palm has always been a covenant reminder. Heaven's way of saying, I'm still with you. You were never forsaken, even when you felt forgotten. Every moment of silence was God watching to see if you would still trust Him when nothing made sense. And you did. That's why this moment is sacred. Heaven rewards the faithful, not the flawless. You stayed when others walked away. You believed when logic said it was over. That faith has now activated divine recompense. This is the hour where the first shall become last, and the last shall rise first. Hidden ones are being elevated. Voices that were ignored are now being amplified. Heaven is calling forth the chosen to step into visible authority, not for ego, but for impact. Your light was never meant to flicker in corners. It was meant to ignite nations. I've seen this before. Those quiet moments when God flips a life in an instant. One day obscurity, the next opportunity. But what I learned through my own acceleration is this: promotion without preparation is pressure. That's why God took His time with you. He didn't forget you, He was forming you. You had to learn to move with wisdom, not haste. You had to learn that wealth without stewardship destroys, and favor without humility fades. Now you are ready. Heaven can trust your hands, chosen one. The supernatural transfer is already active. Finances, influence, open doors. They're being rerouted into your atmosphere. But the true treasure is not in what you receive, it's in what you release. You've been chosen to channel heaven's abundance into earth's need. Every resource that flows to you is meant to flow through you. That's why your heart had to be purified before your hands were filled. Anointed one, remember, your power doesn't come from striving. It comes from stillness. The same presence that split seas and silenced storms now moves quietly within you. When you pray, speak, or even step forward in faith, the heavens respond. You are a living intercession, a walking answer to generations of prayers. Your very existence is proof that prophecy never dies. It just waits for the right vessel to wake up. So now, awaken fully. No more hesitation. No more shrinking. The M on your hand is not a mystery. It's your mandate. Rise in authority. Speak with boldness. Create with conviction. Heal with compassion. Wherever you go, atmospheres will adjust. Chains will break. And people will remember who they are because they met you. Chosen one, this is the moment the heavens have been waiting for, the unveiling of God's masterpiece in motion. Lift your hands. Feel the pulse of destiny running through your veins. You are not chasing miracles anymore, you are carrying them. Walk forward. The world is waiting for your remembrance. Heaven has already declared it finished. Chosen one, as this message comes to a close, remember, heaven does not reveal without reason. You were not led here by curiosity. You were called here by divine timing. The M upon your hand is more than a mark. It is a living covenant, a reminder that you have been chosen to move when others hesitate, to rise when others retreat, to believe when the world doubts. Anointed one, this is your Kairos moment. The supernatural transfer has already begun. What was withheld is being released. What was delayed is being delivered. You are no longer standing on the edge of breakthrough. You are standing in it. Every promise that hovered above your life is now finding its way into your hands. The season of silence has turned into sound, and heaven is speaking your name across dimensions. Walk forward in reverence, but also with holy boldness. The anointing on your life does not fade, it flows. Guard it, use it, speak with faith. Create with conviction, lead with love. Wherever your hands move, let heaven move with them. If this message stirred your spirit, declare it below. I am activating what God placed in me. Let that be your agreement with heaven. Stay aligned. Stay available. The flow has begun and you are in it. Chosen one, the mark is alive. The mandate is real, and the movement has started. Go now in faith.